Happy birthday! Welcome to your December tarot reading. It's Ellie, your friendly mystic. If you're new or old, welcome. It's great to have you. Wonderful to be able to share energy and space with you. I'm super blessed to be able to do this, and thank you so much for being here. Now, if you're familiar with my tarot readings, familiar with YouTube tarot readings in general, you can probably skip to this timestamp and just get right into the reading. Or if you're new or you'd like to get some insight on how I view my tarot readings or the intentions I set for my tarot readings, you'd stick around for a little base covering, a little housekeeping. So first things first, my reading is intended for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and any other particularly important Sagittarius placements you might have. So I won't get into the astrology on that one, but if you know you have a particularly important planet or strong placement in Sagittarius, then you can watch this reading for that placement. So yeah, that's going to depend on your chart, and that's also you'll be able to choose that with more knowledge of astrology. So I do intend to make a little video about that at some point, but now is not that time. My readings are general, so my readings can not apply to everybody all at once. They can't apply to all Sagittarius placements at once. I can only really read for the people who resonate with me as a reader and need messages from me. So, or through me or others, how I like to say that. So if you don't vibe with me as a reader, you're likely not going to receive that message from me. And if you don't need that message for this month, then you don't need that message. And the reading won't be for you. Pretty simple. My readings being general also mean that I will get lots of little messages for subgroups of people, so that might not be for everybody. So if the reading on the whole fits, but there are little details that aren't quite fitting, feel free to ignore that. If it doesn't resonate, leave it, and resonate, or if it does resonate, take it and leave the rest. So pretty simple. My readings are also timeless, so my reading isn't for the month of December. It's just posted in the month of December, so it's not about the timeline it's posted in. So you will find this video when you're meant to find it. It's not really going to, it's not about going to be like on the timeline of this is what's happening in your month. That might not be when you find it. So because these videos last forever, they don't get old. I mean, they get old, but they don't like degrade over time. I see no reason to put an artificial timestamp on it. That's not how I set the intention. What else? I think there's one more thing. Yes. So I do want to have some dialogue about the use of the words feminine and masculine in the reading. You'll often hear me describe an energy as a card, usually a court card, as a person, and I will describe them as being either feminine or masculine. I'm talking about their energy if I don't clarify that. I'm not talking about their gender identity, their gender presentation, or their genitalia, point blank. We all possess feminine and masculine energy. There's really no reason. There's no one gender does not have a monopoly on any duality of energy. Like, it just doesn't. What I do read is the energy that person is inhabiting in that situation. So maybe they every circumstance and situation calls for a different kind of energy. So sometimes that energy will be masculine and serve that situation better than a feminine energy, and vice versa. So because we all possess those energies, we will utilize them consciously or unconsciously, depending on the situation we're in. So I think that's it. I hope that's clear. That clears that up enough. But Sagittarius, let us get into your reading then, shall we? So at the beginning of readings, I like to pull a single, and I saw 444 again. Oh my gosh, that number's following me. It may be something for you, not sure. I do just like to point out angel numbers if I see them because they're fun. They're kind of fun. They can be a lot, but I get them pretty often, so When I get them in readings, I like to point them out. 444 has been coming up for me big time, so. But, oh, I got distracted. I like to pull a Major Arcana card. This is a personal Major Arcana deck that I made myself. So I'm not I'm not taking the Major Arcana out of a certain deck to use. This is just a Major Arcana deck. So you'll see that I have all the Major Arcana collaged. Here, that's the Empress card, Death card. So, I pull one of these cards to encapsulate the reading, to really to kind of talk about the tone, the energy around the reading, as well as any life lessons that may be coming through as a result of the situation this reading is about. So, yeah. Let's get right into it then, Sag. Gotta hold that the right way. Alright. Source, spirit guides, guardian angels, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect with the collective of Sagittarius and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. Source, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, guardian angels, please help me to connect with the collective of Sagittarius and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. Source, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, guardian angels, please help me to connect with the collective of Sagittarius and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. Source, spirit guides, guardian angels, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect with the collective of Sagittarius. You might be dealing with an Aries. And communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. The Tower. Something big coming down in your life. I also see this as a sudden realization that kind of is earth shattering a little bit. You've it basically a shattering of a paradigm you've lived in and you've built over time. And now you realize, oh, actually, it's not that way. I don't believe that anymore. I've built this whole thing on the foundation of this belief, and now that this belief is crashing down, I really can't hold it as I have no foundation for this tower any longer. So this doesn't necessarily mean like a big shift in or like something catastrophic happening to you in the physical. This could be like all mental, which will eventually reflect in your physical, but like it will ask you to do some very scary things first, right? So when we have our beliefs challenged, particularly limiting beliefs, which is kind of where I'm leaning with this, is that you had some limiting beliefs that you were carrying around, and now um they're just being shattered, and now you have to kind of rebuild and do a lot of scary things as a result, or the need to really take down this tower on your own. And when you do that, your physical reality will shift drastically. But it starts interior. Usually I can get the tower and just say, oh yeah, you're gonna go through some shocking event, but this feels like some shock or revelation that comes to you, and then as a result, kind of like you become the epicenter of an earthquake, and as that ripples out, the world around you shifts. You know what I mean? So that's this card. I'm feeling that's what's going on with you, Sagittarius. It is similar for me. I am a Sagittarius moon, so. Alright. Well, now that we have that card read and out of the way, we can get into the main spread and do this reading for you. Alright, Sagittarius, so I have your decks picked out for you. I do the main spread with a tarot deck. This time I'll be using the Gilded Tarot. If you like any of the decks you see, there will be links in the description for them. Most of them. I know some of them I was unable to find a link for. So we'll do the main spread with the Gilded Tarot, and then for your oracle cards that I pull for advice at the end, I usually pull about 2 or 3. I'm using the medicine cards for that. So we'll set these aside and get into the main spread. Source, what messages do you have for Sagittarius? What messages do you have for Sagittarius? What messages do you have for Sagittarius? Oh, there goes a bunch. Okay. Sometimes it comes quick, and sometimes it doesn't. But today was a quick day. Ooh, we got 5. Wow, 5. Really? Okay. Well, that's interesting. I pulled the Hermit and Judgment in another. Well, I pulled the Hermit and a Hermit in Leo reading, and then I pulled Judgment. No, I pulled Judgment in Leo, and I pulled the Hermit in Aries. So funny, those are both there. And the Two of Pentacles was in Aries as well. I think we're having a hard time making a decisive decision about 2 opportunities, 2 options, 2 things. But I don't think things are waiting around for us to figure that out either. So this is a quick moving opportunity that we're not really sure of, and we are, I think, at risk of allowing this to pass by us. Also, this could also just indicate not having a lot of clarity around a business decision. It could be business, could be finances. Something about the tangible, could be also like deciding where you live. Just an evaluation of 2 things, weighing each option against the other. And I do get the moving from the 8 of Wands as potentially being about making a big change in your life, but you really, you also could just be being hush hush about it. This could just be something that is happening inside that you're not talking to anybody about. But whenever this decision is made, I feel like things move really quickly and very suddenly. But right now we're kind of in this evaluation phase, and again with the Hermit, I sense more evaluation, more internal looking. At the beck and call, not the beck and call, but at the call of spirit, at the call of a message you received from on high. Just like a kind of a download you might have received, and now you know, oh, I have to go in. I have to go in to look at this. I have to do the evaluation. I have to actually weigh out what my values are. And now that I'm trying to do that, I'm seeing that I don't have the clarity. I don't actually know what my truth is anymore. And until I do that, the forward movement doesn't really happen. But I do feel like it's being tackled head on. I sense that you're not avoiding it like Leo was. Leo was really avoiding this, avoiding the call of spirit, and Aries was really avoiding doing the internal work. But you're being called by spirit to do the internal work, and you seem to be doing it, but it's leading to some cloudiness. But cloudiness you would not otherwise have known was there if you hadn't done the internal, or you hadn't started doing the internal work. But I feel like you get that momentum, you get that motion when you take the time to pause. So until you can be still, the movement kind of sits, or you don't get the movement rather. Any other messages? There's another one. These come out in little pairs of 2. So the 3 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, to the Temperance and the 2 of Wands. So the Temperance and the 2 of Wands kind of very immediately tells me about finding the middle path. Oh, okay. That was not what I was going to say. But suddenly now I'm getting like the middle path, Buddhism, like not going to either extreme or seeing a false dichotomy where there isn't one. And if you're in an unbalanced state, if you're not tempering this extremes of two sides or two opinions or thoughts within yourself, you may think that you only have two options. You can only choose one or the other, and you're not seeing that you could also go in between. You could also find a path, or forge your own path in the middle. That was not what I was going to say, but that's what came out. Funny how that works sometimes. But it could also, maybe there is two options and you're just trying to find a balance within yourself so that you make the correct choice, or you make the optimal choice, or you know that you made the right choice rather. Cuz often I find that, I think for me, it's not even the choice. It's not the choice itself, it's how I make the choice that's more important. So maybe, it doesn't seem like the best on paper, but like for me, I made that choice because that's what resonated, that's what was clear, and spoke to my soul, even if it was a more difficult path. But I am getting a sense of needing to not feel like you only have two options. It's not a black or white and either or kind of situation. This could be there. It's asking you to think creatively about the direction you go in. And then we have a Three of Wands, lots of wands. So there's a lot of inspiration. There's lots of what's the word? There's lots of energy behind whatever this is. Um, I mean that relates back to this tower moment that we pulled earlier. I'll just show you the card really quick when I talk about it. Um, just something high energy. Uh, kind of, it seems, I guess, kind of explosive, in a way. So something explosive coming through. So then we have a Three of Wands and a Ten of Wands. So, hmm, hmm. How do I parse this out? So the Three of Wands is really kind of similar to the evaluation, but it's also like watching your plans come to fruition. But there's also this, like the Three of Wands is very much, sitting back and watching the things move as they need to in the time they're meant to move. And the Ten of Wands is trying to move everything at once. So perhaps this is the temperance that you're kind of undergoing, is, do I have to do all of the heavy lifting myself, or do I need to sit back and actually let the ships come in? So you're kind of in this like, oh, do I sit, or do I like do I need to be completely in stillness or completely in motion or completely in action versus observation. So okay, I was getting really confused because these are two very opposite cards. They came out together, but they came out right after this, or right before the temperance, I believe. So I do think that these are the two opposites you're trying to, and then they're all threaded together by being wands. Sorry. These are the two opposites you're trying to balance, or to temper, so that you can actually take that middle path. So maybe there are some things that you need to sit and wait to come to fruition, and trust that the universe will bring them to you, as opposed to a Ten of Wands energy where some things need to be taken into your hands actively and done and moved forward by your own personal energy, as opposed to allowing the universe to move everything for you. So I don't think it's an either or situation. I think it's finding the balance between the Three of Wands and the Ten of Wands, so that you can actually come to the right path that you are meant to take, or the right actions you're meant to take, seeing that we're talking about wands, and what will get you the fastest momentum. Again, like this kind of all leads back to the momentum of the Eight of Wands. It's very central in the spread. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. I got you. I see where you're at. Let's pull some more cards. What else do we got for Sagittarius? What else do we got for Sagittarius? Ooh. Oh. Oh. Sag. I want to make sure these are in frame. The Lovers, the King of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Oof, ouch. I don't know if that seems so good. So I feel like there's a connection here. You can't help it. I see the Lovers cards. If there's another person involved in this, this could be, honestly, this feels kind of like a warning. Because I'm seeing that there's a King of Swords here that's not necessarily super balanced or acting in their right mind and unable to, is not really potentially the person that will be the type of partner to bring a Ten of Pentacles in with you. But this connection is really fire. Like, this kind of like, let me show you this Lover's card in particular. Like, damn, Fabio, please, come on. I do feel like potentially part of it could also indicate that this connection is real. You're gonna have to use your discernment on this, because sorry, but you will. If we're seeing this Ace of Swords, this like inability, if we're gonna connect a cloudiness that you're carrying with this King of Swords. Also, if you're not, like, if this fits somebody you know, if it's somebody you know, not necessarily you may be a different party in this. I'm just reading energy that is in and around you. I should probably put that at the beginning of my videos. My bad. Anyway, so if we're gonna talk about this cloudiness, this kind of indicates that connection here with the swords. We're seeing that this is the cloudiness that you're carrying around as Sagittarius, and you're not able to see the connection that's in front of you that is going, like, and you're in kind of like, you're really doubtful about this. It's very weird because Sagittarius, you're like the most optimistic of the signs. I think you're having some lack of clarity. Also, okay. If the thing you're interested in evaluating what you actually value in this Two of Pentacles place, in this Two of Wands place, I think part of the cloudiness you're having is around this connection. And you are like, is it gonna be my Ten of Pentacles? Is this person ready to ready to bring in wealth with me, abundance with me? Whoa, hold on. I'm having some interesting fire, which I need to handle. Sorry about that, Sag. Okay. So, you have a lot of doubts about this connection, or about it feels great, but you have doubts about I guess the practicality or the legacy building abundance, the type of abundance that you can pass on to your family, type of abundance you can, that lives beyond you, the kind of abundance you can only build with other people. But it kind of also seems to me like the only person that's really not in it is the King of Swords. Whether you're the King of Swords or not, there's a party having some doubts. I'm curious about the other party. Now, this row might only be for some people. I don't think everybody's dealing with a romantic partner or something. But if they are, hold on, I'm gonna push these over so I can get some more room. Excuse me. Any other messages? I think there's also this evaluation the King of Swords is doing is really only from the head and not from the heart. So this is a King of Swords who's kind of in the air element. Like, what's the logical conclusion of this? Like, really kind of considering it from like a more pragmatic place. And then the 10, and they're considering the Pentacles, so they're trying to be pragmatic, logical, and thought out about their money, right? So like it seems like the thing that's holding them back isn't like feeling the love, whatever that is. It's it's more of just like, oh, but will I have the abundance I desire? Will I be able to? Does this connection make sense? Does it work for both parties? Is it, they're thinking logistics, which is not really like, I don't think that's what people want you to think about when they're thinking about partnering, but perhaps. And that might be you, Sag. It may not be, that might be the other person. And if you're not dealing with another person, I'm feeling as though, if I was going to read this for the single party, it would be the lovers would then represent a union of opposites within yourself, and you're kind of having a difficult time doing that as a result of an unbalanced King of Swords energy, a cold-hearted kind of closed off, not willing to communicate kind of king that's a bit miserly almost, like I'm getting that in the Ten of Pentacles reversed. So when you balance that out, well, actually I feel like if you balance this, then abundance comes and those opposites are united. But this does, I mean, that's just a read. That might be for somebody, but this feels more primarily in line with the relationship. So let's see what else. What else? Oh no. Sag, what is happening, man? I'm just getting a fight over finances. Again, if this feels like it's about this relationship thing. I'm also getting that part of maybe the indecision and the cloudiness and being able to make forward movement, and feeling like there's only like stay or go, there is no in between, is related to a partner. Like, do I make all the moves, or do I just wait for them to come to me? Like, it could relate to somebody like that, and not feeling like there's a balanced way of going about something. And kind of getting in your head about it. But I feel like part of it is like, this could be baggage that the king is bringing in, or perhaps part of what is the resistance and the cloudiness that the King of Swords has around this relationship, is arguments about money and fairness around money. Like, it seems like they've had to do lots of battles to the end just to feel like their money is in balance, but it's not. There's not a fair exchange between two people. It's not balanced at all, and it feels like one person is willing to fight to the bitter end to get their way, and so there's not really this reciprocity around money. That feels very money oriented. And the Lover's card could be a relation, like a business relationship, a partnership of some kind, and you and your business partner are fighting about what it is that you're doing. So, any other messages you have? We got about 5 more minutes. A couple more cards. I find that I always fill up this table before I meet the time mark I'm looking for. I always try to make sure I give y'all a good, thorough reading, Alright. Ooh, there's something. The Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups. This is a lot of going back to the past. Like, revisiting old hurts, revisiting, like past injuries, emotional injuries, it seems like, and we're revisiting them in the mind. We're replaying these things over and over in our heads. I don't know if this is the King of Swords. This could be the other party, but I do sense that somebody is really, I'm getting blind. We see a little blind mole rat there in the night. It's interesting. This could also just be like highly avoidant behavior, very running away from what's good for them, running back to old ways of being. Um, so if especially if we're revisiting old pains, we will also revisit the old way of being as we if we're not processing what it was that caused us the pain in the first place. We're just exacerbating the wound. We're massaging it to make it worse almost. Um, and you know, there is a part of emotional processing where it gets worse before it gets better. Um, but I don't think that's what's happening here. Because if that's not what it is, because if I'm flipping these upright, I see a very different story. I'm seeing somebody who's letting go of resentments and old hurts and past ways of being and what no longer fulfills them and moving towards something, even if it's a difficult journey. They are moving towards something and rather independently as well. I love the Six of Swords because the Six of Swords in the traditional Rider-Waite is a man or just a figure, I suppose, rowing two other figures in the boat, but this figure rows themselves and they look forward. So this feels much better, a much better story. But right now, I don't feel like that's what's happening. I'm feeling like they're having a really hard time letting go of what it was, and they're just looking back at it. And because they aren't able to let go, they can't really make they can't make forward movement through the difficult waters. They just kind of are stuck in like a stagnant pool. I don't know. That's kind of what came. All right, let's pull a couple more cards. Ooh. We have a Four of Pentacles. Yeah, really closed off. What's mine is mine, and I'm not willing to give you any of it. Well, that is no way to build a Ten of Pentacles. So if you're the king and you're having doubts about this other party, even though the connection feels good, about whether or not this will be your Ten of Pentacles person, if they're in a Four of Pentacles mindset, that's probably why you're having those doubts. Now, if you are a King of Swords, if you are the King of Swords and having doubts about this connection because of Ten of Pentacles reasons, and I feel like the lack of reciprocity is on your end, right? Because the Six of Pentacles in reverse is definitely a lack of reciprocity. Fighting tooth and nail for it, holding on to whatever you have. There's a sense of greed here. You've been very stable, but you're not growing if you stay in a Four of Pentacles. Takes some risks, takes some hardship, takes willing to lose some to gain some. What else? Whoa, Devil Energy. That's a pretty powerful card. Suddenly on the table. Yeah, this is really the attachment. This feels like the attachment to money. This feels like the kind of the core of it is really all of this, going back to the old hurts or the insecurities, the resentments here, and the lack of reciprocity around money, a lack of balance around money, fighting about money, then really wanting to hold on to the Four Pentacles you have and keeping them close to your chest and not having room for any more is really related to this stuck devil energy. This is kind of a sexy devil though, like he's a very sexy devil. So yeah, whoever this party is, because this may or may not be the King of Swords, this person is really stuck, really attached and really like almost made slave to their attachment to money, their insecurity about money, and their lack of willingness to work with the other person. That's why this Ten of Pentacles can't come through, though I do see this as a fairly positive sign that this person can develop the Ten of Pentacles with you if this is resolved. Whoever has this double energy problem. It could be both parties. They both might have this issue. Now, I think it's time to pull the medicine cards. So I'm gonna pull a couple of these for advice. See what wants to come through and give you some, I guess, advice on how to navigate the situation. So I feel like the spread spends so much time laying out the situation, which is like good, being able to get a clarity on what's happening, but then you're like, okay, what do I do with it? So I like to pull advice. Now, I like to say this before I pull my advice, but if you liked me as a reader, or if you like me as a reader and you like to see more of this kind of content, you can subscribe to my channel. I post monthlies every month. You subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can always get updated on when I make posts. If this reading was for you, if you'd like to exchange energy for the reading, you'd like to claim the reading, please hit the like button. It really helps. I greatly appreciate it. And if you'd like to start a dialogue around the reading, any questions, comments, concerns you have for me, please leave a comment. I do respond to all of them as I can. If they are legitimate and in good faith, I will respond. Eventually, I do try. It's important for me to engage with you. Helps me feel like I'm reading for people and not just reading to my phone. Reading to my phone in my room by myself. Oh yes, and if you'd like to get a personal reading from me, you can do so by going into the description. There will be a link to my website, friendlymystic.com, where you can get information on how to get a personal reading from me, book that with me personally. I'm currently open for personal reading, so if you need clarity and insight, I got you. Alright. What advice do you have for Sagittarius in regards to the spread? What advice? Oh, there they are. Hummingbird. Okay, so I immediately know Hummingbird is about being present, being in the moment, really recognizing joy and happiness when it's there and letting it come and go delicately. Like a hummingbird flits about, like a hummingbird. Hold on, I'll hold these cards. And then we have the otter in verse. Okay, that's interesting. These both break down to an 8, which is interesting, and the 44 is a master number. But the hummingbird is really about being in your joy, being receptive to it, I suppose, is being willing to like have a cupped palm so that you can receive it, but you're not holding it so, gripping it so tightly that it doesn't have any room to breathe. You know, you want to let the hummingbird fly. You don't want to hold on to it. And then the otter is about a lack of jealousy, a willing to share your joy being other people's joy. So it is funny seeing both of these cards together because they're both about happiness and joy. And the otter in particular is about the balanced feminine principle of receptivity and giving and playfulness, curiosity. And I think the otter is pointing out the energy that is out of balance, not willing to share with others, feeling jealousy, scarcity, feeling as though other people's needs are only, it's seeing the world as a zero-sum game, which I was picking up with this whole line down here of just like these issues around money and feeling like you don't have enough to give, or you're trying to hold all of that you can by yourself so that you can't actually build that Ten of Pentacles. And the hummingbird is really just asking you to release and be willing to receive what comes and let go what goes. Because if you're not in a position of receptiveness, there's nothing can really come in, because you can't receive anything in a closed fist, right? But it also is just asking you to get really in touch with your joy. Like these two cards together are just about being in touch with your joy and your happiness. Um, and the hummingbird kind of has the more transient nature of happiness symbolized in it, but I just feel like a hummingbird is more likely to come if you tend to your garden and you make it lush and happy, than if you try to go out and catch a hummingbird, right? I don't know who that message is for, but it's for somebody. So, Sagittarius, happy birthday again. I hope this was a helpful reading. I hope that you got something out of this, and I hope I see you again.